An insane, absolutely enormous plan is underway in Florida on a scale that's never been seen before. That's costing billions of dollars in an attempt to solve its geography problem. Home to Disneyland, space shuttle launches, and the Everglades, Florida is the fastest growing state in the US. It has the fourth biggest economy and is now the third most populated state in the USA. With 1,000 people a day moving there for its temperate climate, favorable tax laws, and expanding business community, Florida is one of the country's top tourist destinations. Tourism is its biggest industry, drawing millions of visitors each year to dozens of state and national parks. In 2022, it had a record 137.6 million visitors, which contributed over $100 billion to the state's economy. One of the Sunshine State's most notable tourist attractions is the Florida Everglades, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and 1.5 million acres in size. The Florida Everglades is one of the largest wetlands in the world, home to endangered, rare and exotic wildlife. It's often thought of as a swamp. However, the glades are actually a slow-moving river flowing over an area that's 40 miles wide and 100 miles long, from the south shore of Lake Okeechobee to the mangrove estuaries of the Florida Bay. Florida's population has risen massively, from 2.7 million in the 1950s to 22.6 million in 2023, transforming it from an agricultural state of sparsely populated rural areas in the 50s to the densely populated state of massive growth that we know today. In fact, the expanding urban development of Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville have all merged into one megacity region, which is known as a megalopolis. However, urban development combined with agricultural expansion has had highly problematic consequences. Florida is running out of drinking water, and it's dealing with unprecedented flooding, water contamination, increasing sea levels, coastal erosion, and a record-breaking uptick in devastating storms. And all of this is not only threatening its huge tourism and leisure industries, but it's actually jeopardizing its entire existence. Which is why, in order to save the state from increasing environment, weather, and drinking water problems, Florida has been spending billions of dollars on the world's largest restoration endeavor ever seen. It's happening across the entire state, and it might just be working. In Florida, everything depends on water. The state's unique water-based environment is not only the heart of its tourism and leisure industry, but it's home to its unique wildlife. It is also responsible for providing its inhabitants with drinking water, preventing floods, coping with sea level rises, and saltwater intrusion. However, leaky septic tanks and fertilizer that washes from lawns and farms have been seeping into the watershed and feeding massive toxic algae blooms, forming in Florida's lakes, rivers, and along its coastlines. These are some of the most potent natural poisons on Earth. The blooms take many forms, from red tide to clumps of brown gunk, and the more serious forms that make the water look like green paint, or this bluish purple, which releases a toxin called microcystin that scientists have tied to liver damage in people. Scientists, politicians, and water agencies have been working together on giant river, floodplain, and wetland restorations as part of a massive project to renaturalize the Florida Everglades watershed at a cost of more than $10.5 billion and with 35-plus year timeline. This is the largest hydraulic restoration project ever undertaken in the United States. Over the past 100 years, humans have disrupted the natural flow of water in Florida, dredging and draining its rivers, marshes, and floodplains to make room for development and agricultural farmland. The natural winding, twisty rivers were straightened and concretized into channels that ran into straight lines. This sucked up most of the water, polluted the waterways, and killed off wildlife, while depleting drinking water supplies and increasing the risk of flooding. Flooding isn't just caused by heavy rainstorms. It happens because the natural landscapes have been severely altered. Winding rivers that stretched out over vast plains would absorb the water from heavy rain and soak it into the ground, recharging underground water reserves called aquifers, which are the main source of drinking water. But by turning rivers into straight concrete canals in heavy rain events, the water has nowhere else to go but to overflow into urban areas, massively reducing the drinking water supply in the ground. This can be seen clearly with what happened to the Kissimmee River. The Kissimmee River is the most important river in the Everglades watershed, but it was straightened and concretized during the 1960s. The source of water in the Everglades begins just south of Orlando in the Kissimmee chain of lakes. From there, water flows south through the Kissimmee River to Lake Okeechobee. During the wet season, the water would overflow on its southern edge, then slowly move down through the Everglades to the Gulf of Mexico. Historically, the Kissimmee River had twists and bends and overflowed into a huge area. The slow-moving waters filtered nutrients and surface water over a wide floodplain into the ground, recharging the underground water reserves, which are the primary source of drinking water in Florida that millions of residents depend upon. However, between 1962 and 1970, the Kissimmee River was dredged and turned into a concrete canal, shortening the 103-mile distance from Lake Kissimmee to the Lake Okeechobee to just 56 miles. After the river channel was straightened, 40,000 acres of floodplain below Lake Kissimmee dried out. Ranchers grazed beef cattle on the now dry floodplains, and wildlife habitat and fish numbers were reduced by 90%. This practice was applied to the rivers and waterways across the state, and throughout the mid-1900s, the entire Everglades watershed was ditched, dredged, and drained. Florida's water no longer flowed freely, but instead through a series of concrete canals and flood control structures. However, as a result, Florida started to run out of drinking water. The concrete canals only made flooding worse, and the watershed became increasingly contaminated. So the decision was made to unstraighten the Kissimmee River, restoring its natural winding routes. Engineers determined the best method to restore the river was to use a material called spoil that was piled along the edge of the canal during the channelization process and simply push it back into the canal, a process called backfilling. The project began in 1999, and over the next 20 years, at a cost of $875 million, 22 miles of concrete canal have been backfilled, returning flow to 45 miles of the river's historic channel, and restoring approximately 40 square miles of the river's floodplain ecosystem. Re-establishing the floodplain has had a positive impact throughout the watershed, all the way down to Florida Bay. Wildlife is bouncing back. Wading birds and waterfowl have returned. Sandbars have re-emerged, and once dormant plants have begun to re-establish themselves. Fish populations have been boosted, which has led to a rise in bird and alligator populations, so the entire food chain has benefited. An important part of the renaturalization process has been to remove an entire road, which is built across the Everglades, blocking almost completely the natural flow from north to south. A 1.5 million acre water feed used to flow naturally in an average rain year into the Florida Everglades. However, in 1928, the Tamiami Trail Road was built across the Everglades, which formed a barrier stopping the natural flow of water from the central Everglades to the southern Everglades. The Everglades' reduced water flows increased wildfires and increased non-native plant species, as well as decreased habitat for wading bird colonies and alligators. So in order to restore the natural water flow, the decision was made to remove the old trail road and reconnect the entire Everglades watershed, and in March 2020, a project began to remove the old road. The worn-out asphalt had been chewed up and hauled away, bridges had been taken out, and the tangled vegetation that had built up on either side of the road, so that the water now flows here once again. Restoring floodplains for flood prevention and wildlife habitat is a key aspect of the regeneration effort. As part of this, Thacker Union Pump Station has been created. The new pump station is moving water into previously drained area to restore a 55,000-acre natural habitat, which is benefiting both people and wildlife. The pump is a measure to reduce excess water levels from the Golden Gate Estate urbanization area, providing flood protection for residents by moving large amounts of water into a huge spreader basin, which also restores the floodplain habitat, benefiting wildlife. Extensive large-scale invasive species removal projects have also been undertaken, which has seen areas where invasive plant species have taken over have been cleared by controlled burns and excavation. The state's subtropical climate and ornamental plant industries make the region especially vulnerable to the establishment of invasive species, which adversely affects and competes with the natural ecology. Removing them is crucial to restore the native ecosystem and for the long-term sustainability of the region.